If we wait for the moment when everything, absolutely everything is ready, we shall never begin. I do not know what the heart of a bad man is like. But I do know what the heart of a good man is like. And it is terrible. Circumstances define us, they force us onto one road or another, and then they punish us for it. Nothing is worse and more hurtful than happiness that comes too late. We sit in the mud and reach for the stars. Go forward while you can, but if your strength fails you, sit down near the road and gaze without anger or envy at those who pass by. They don't have far to go, either. Circumstances define us, they force us onto one road or another, and then they punish us for it. Nothing is worse and more hurtful than happiness that comes too late. We sit in the mud and reach for the stars. Love isn't a feeling at all, it's an illness, a certain condition of body and soul. Usually, it takes possession of someone without his permission, all of a sudden, against his will, just like cholera or fever. The people who bind themselves to systems are those who are unable to encompass the whole truth and try to catch it by the tail. A system is like the tail of truth, but the truth is like a lizard, it leaves its tail in your fingers and runs away knowing full well that it will grow a new one in a twinkling. Death's an old joke, but each individual encounters it anew. Love, I thought, is stronger than death or the fear of death. Only by it, by love, life holds together and advances. To desire and expect nothing for oneself and to have profound sympathy for others is genuine holiness. Time, as is well known, sometimes flies like a bird and sometimes crawls like a worm, but human beings are generally particularly happy when they don't notice whether it's passing quickly or slowly. Belonging to oneself, the whole essence of life lies in that. That is what poetry can do. It speaks to us of what does not exist, which is not only better than what exists but even more like the truth. Life deceives everyone except the individual who doesn't contemplate it, the individual who demands nothing from it, the individual who serenely accepts its few gifts and serenely makes the most of them. That's what children are for, that their parents may not be bored. I believe love produces a certain flowering of the whole personality which nothing else can achieve. All human beings hang by a thread, an abyss may open under their feet at any moment, and yet they have to go and invent all sorts of difficulties for themselves and spoil their lives. Take what you can yourself, and don't let others get you into their hands. To belong to oneself, that is the whole thing in life. I was afraid of looking into my heart, afraid of thinking seriously about anything. I did not want to know whether I was loved, and I did not want to admit to myself that I was not loved. So many memories and so little worth remembering, and in front of me, a long, long road without a goal. Every man's happiness is built on the unhappiness of another. Everyone needs help from everyone else. I never started from ideas but always from character. The word tomorrow was invented for indecisive people and for children. Nature cares nothing for logic, our human logic. She has her own, which we do not recognize and do not acknowledge until we are crushed under its wheel. No matter how often you knock at nature's door, she won't answer in words you can understand, for nature is dumb. She'll vibrate and moan like a violin, but you mustn't expect a song. What's important is that twice two is four and all the rest's nonsense. Whatever a person may pray for, that person prays for a miracle. Every prayer comes down to this: Almighty God, grant that 2 times 2 does not equal 4. You may live a long while with some people and be on friendly terms with them and never speak openly with them from your soul. In my case, there was no first love. I began with the second. I agree with no one's opinion. I have some of my own. A poet must be a psychologist, but a secret one. He should know and feel the roots of phenomena but present only the phenomena themselves in full bloom or as they fade away. There are some moments in life, some feelings, one can only point to them and pass by. Death is like a fisherman, who, having caught a fish in his net, leaves it in the water for a time. The fish continues to swim about, but all the while the net is rounded, and the fisherman will snatch it out in his own good time. So long as one's just dreaming about what to do, one can soar like an eagle and move mountains, it seems, but as soon as one starts doing it one gets worn out and tired. A person who gets angry at his illness is sure to overcome it. I've become convinced that every person should treat himself strictly and even rudely and distrustfully. It's difficult to tame the beast in oneself. Don't force me into saying what I don't want to say, and what I won't say. Nature is not a temple, but a workshop, and man's the workman in it. I share no man's opinions, I have my own. The fact is that previously they were simply dunces and now they've suddenly become nihilists. One may speak about anything on earth with fire, with enthusiasm, with ecstasy, but one only speaks about oneself with avidity. I look up to heaven only when I want to sneeze. Great God, grant that twice two be not four. I only know that I feel tired, antiquated, I feel as though I had been living a long, long time. It was only vulgarly mediocre that repelled her. The past was a dream, wasn't it? And whoever remembers dreams. There is a sweetness in being the sole source, the autocratic and irresponsible cause of the greatest joy and most profound pain to another. I was as happy as a fish in water, and I could have stayed in that room forever, have never left that place. Each individual is more or less dimly aware of his significance, is aware that he's something innately superior, something eternal, and lives are obligated to live, in the moment and for the moment. I am a flirt, I have no heart, I have an actor's nature. Significance is sweet. What's terrible is that there's nothing terrible, that the very essence of life is petty, uninteresting, and degradingly trite. What a magnificent body, how I should like to see it on the dissecting table. Even nightingales can't be fed on fairy tales. He was the soul of politeness to everyone, to some with a hint of aversion, to others with a hint of respect. Bazarov drew himself up haughtily. I don't adopt anyone's ideas, I have my own. The temerity to believe in nothing,